Hey everyone, this is Dr. Briley. Stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and never apologize for wanting more out of life. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are on season 3. Can you believe it? Yeah, I say it every time we get on. I am super excited today because I was able to get these nice people, this great family, into the studio today. And we're going to be talking about some great things. But like we always do, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Briley. And let's go around the room here. Let's introduce ourselves and tell the guests out here that's watching who you are.
Hi, I'm Fred Cruz.
That was a very short introduction. I'm Lucky Cruz. I am a professional golfer, and I'm here with my mom and my dad. This is my mom. Go ahead. Introduce yourself.
I'm Amanda Cruz.
Yay.
Mom.
This is a great family, y'all. And what the biggest thing, so even though he's a golfer, he has traveled the world, like all over the world. Before we got on set, we were actually talking about some places and things that they did and went. And so I have him on the show today because I want to talk about, just the structures of different places you've been and what you've seen and what you've experienced. Because, in a lifetime, most people don't get a chance to experience a lot of things, especially in Texas. Like, Texas. And I can say this, to be in Texas and Louisiana, most people that are born and raised in Texas or Louisiana, a lot of times they don't go nowhere. They just kind of, most of the time, stick where they are, and they might do some trips, here and there, but a lot of times people don't get that opportunity. And this family has had an amazing opportunity, lots of support, lots of love, and beyond that, the opportunity is also because of how great their son is in golf. So we're gonna just kind of dive into it. We're gonna talk about real estate. We're gonna talk about hotels you stayed in, all kinds of things that are just pretty cool when it comes to real estate and entrepreneurship. Because even being a golfer, that's like entrepreneurship too.
Right.
It is a huge aspect of it. And with just our Real Estate Defined show, we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, and it's also a business. It's a family business.
Right.
It's a brand.
It's a brand, absolutely.
It's a brand.
100%.
So before we get started, we're gonna talk about some funny stuff and some funny things, and let's y'all got y'all's funny or interesting thing that you'd like to share?
You go with one funny, and then I'll follow you.
I mean, like you were saying, we've been traveling a lot these last, 4 years now, and we're super thankful.
Ooh.
I'm super thankful. And like you were saying, most people don't even leave Texas. It's just so damn big.
Yeah,
Like, we tried to drive out of the state, like, so many times, and it's like we're 8 hours and like, we still in Texas? Oh my God. It's like in the middle of nowhere. You don't even know if you're in Texas anymore. Like, it's crazy, just desert at that point.
It's huge.
You just run in these little raggedy neighborhoods. It's like, I don't know if I should be here. It's like,
Well, I call it country bumpkin. On
Country bumpkin?
one of my other shows, I had to deal with some country bumpkin towns. So it's just like real rural, and it's like somebody's got a little toothpick and they're like.
yeah. Sometimes it's too
Listen.
country bumpkin. Like sometimes it's like some.
You know what's wild about what you're saying and being young, that you have to think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when you travel, you have to think about all these aspects of travel. And back in the day with traveling and even staying in real estate, there was a thing called the Green Book.
Oh, yeah.
That a lot of people had to like look through and see if it's a safe place to be. And unfortunately, you're absolutely right. In today's society, we still have to think that way when you go to rural places in real estate.
Yep.
To make sure it's safe. Can I stop for gas? Can I stop to stay? Can I, you know what I'm saying? Can I do all of these things? Because if you don't, you could have and we talked about you like the security man for your family, is this going to be okay?
I remember when I was in high school, I remember coming from Cincinnati down we were going to University of Tennessee for a football camp. And I remember my parents were driving down, and it was somewhere in Kentucky outside of Barberville. And it was a town I didn't get out.
Right.
I did not want to get out. And I was just like, nah, this isn't a place I should get out.
Right.
And I knew that real quickly at, I think it was 17, 16. It was in a place where I should get out and be comfortable.
Right.
with what I knew at the time in the 90s.
Right.
I'm not getting out. So
Right.
like my stepdad went out, and he did all that. They were kind of taken back by it, but at the time in Cincinnati, Ohio, and like being the only one, like I was the only one in my high school. It was a minority, so
Right.
everybody knew I was the guy.
Right.
So you grow up in that environment and these things, and it's so funny. I had no idea that I would have a son that would play golf. And I had no idea that what I went through in high school was some of the things I went through, he would experience in the game of golf.
Right.
So it was...
It's almost preparation. So you got prepared early to help your son, to prepare him through the game of golf
Right.
with some of the things you've experienced, but on a different sector. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
but it was also anger. I was angry about it.
Right.
We laugh about it now, but I
Right.
could tell him, like, hey, 60, 70 years ago, me and your mom being married wasn't a
Right.
kosher thing.
Right.
So, like, and I grew up in the Midwest where things are still weird,
Right.
right?
Even in the southern states.
So,
you know?
It's still not
so-
kosher. Some
Yes,
people out
yeah.
there.
Yeah, but
on
it's
both
just
ends.
Yeah, but not
Right.
everyone now people who are most accepting talk with a country accent.
Yeah.
And now people who are not accepting are the do-gooders that live
Right.
up north that drive the Mercedes and have the big
Right.
house.
Yeah.
It's completely flipped
Right.
to what me and my wife grew up to.
Right.
So,
and
like-
seen and experienced and lived
Yeah, it
in
was-
your life.
Right. Because, I mean, I know a lot of country people who I love, and they'll give you shirt off their back.
Right.
And, like, we just went to New York. It was the most pretentious, like, people of color work for the people of that are the elite. And it
Right.
made you feel that way.
Right.
And it was just like, dang. You know, like, wait a minute, this is supposed to
Right.
be the North. Like, my wife brought out, she's like, the Yankees won the war. I'm like, honey, this is split. Now, Confederates live up north. So
Right.
it's like, it's that. And it's just, and that aspect growing up and what we experienced had a little bit of subconsciously being angry
Right.
at the situation because I felt like my son doesn't deserve that.
Right.
So I felt like there's
And you feel sometimes we should be way past that, but with traveling and how things are, there's pockets. I call
Right.
them like little pockets of places that are still different, you know. And then, like you said, being married, you went through this roller coaster ride of knowing like, these people really might not like us.
I almost carry my 3-year-old daughter. My 3-year-old daughter looks like Amanda, right?
Right.
So people look at me and be like, that's not your baby. I'm like, this is my baby. I promise you, this is my baby.
Well,
look at her
that's-
eyes.
that
This is my eyes.
That is very common.
Yeah, and then people look at me at like HEB or whatever, walk with my girls. And, you know, with Lion, you can tell because
Right.
I call it the metamorphosis, right?
Right.
They look like mom at the beginning and then
Right.
they start to change
Right.
over time. To,
Right.
Yeah, I was an example of that.
Right. They look like me,
I was
right?
so white when I was younger.
You just blossom.
I just started to, my nose started to grow. I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. My hair started getting a little nappier. I'm like, yep.
Here we go.
But my,
Here it comes.
but my daughter and Rocco, they're different.
Yeah.
So we still experience it, but it does. And that was the one thing about us traveling for him in golf. In Europe, we don't face those things. It's a beautiful but a really frustrating experience.
Right.
We go to London, never feel it. We go to Amsterdam, no.
Right.
We went to Ireland. There are some people who are conservatively whatever different.
Right.
You might get stabbed in some places, but just stay
yeah.
away from those places.
Right.
But you ain't experiencing
No.
it.
We're never even in Egypt, we never experienced that.
Yeah.
Italy.
Now, some of these places you said I have not been to, which I need to put those on my bucket list, especially if you're not experiencing that, because it would be great to know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I've traveled internationally a lot, but I tend to, when I do get off, I tend to want to go to more places with beaches and just kind of, hot places where I could just chill on the beaches and stuff. But that's interesting. You said, you say that.
You don't. I mean, if people want to live in other places, I'll give you an example. We went to Leeds, in England, northern England. Didn't even know where that was until I looked it up on the map. He's representing the United States for the RNA boys. So it was only 2 Americans. It was Ashley Brown, she committed University of Texas. Not Ashley Brown, sorry, Charlotte Brown, and Lucky that played in it. Both minorities. It was great.
Right.
But how you were treated when we got there, their culture and the way they have is a certain respect
Right.
for people that we miss here for some reason.
Right.
That they say, okay, the human element of it,
Right.
right? Which is, you can see why some of these places are such a a magnet for internationals and people because it's easier for them to integrate in those places where they're accepted
Right.
rather than not. So that was a beautiful experience. Went and ate Indian food. We went and did these different places where just it wasn't even a thing.
Right.
It's about be who we are, to look how we look.
I think that's because America is such a more diverse country, and it's so easy to use a group of people as a political advantage to, like, I don't know, for their own benefit. Like, especially with politics being such an important factor in what we do as a society, it's just the way it's turned on ourselves. It's just kind of for their own advantage. So, and then that spreads along to the masses, and they start to believe it, and then it affects each other, and we can't agree on anything. So I guess it's just the culture's different when it comes to that. I mean, all form of politics from any sort of country is evil in its own way, but ours is just, we've had that same problem for a very long time now. So,
But when people don't travel and people don't explore and people don't have international interaction, because I can have a very high level conversation with people that have traveled the world, and then I know I have to, scale down a little bit for people that haven't, because
Right.
the conversation, you could say a couple of words and then, like you said, you're back on politics, and I'm like, do you know there are some countries where they don't pay for health care?
exactly.
Do you know there are some countries
Exactly.
that, go up to grade 13? There are some countries that help you in your transition from 12th grade to having a real career. So
Right.
I think a lot of it has to do when people are in a box and they don't experience anything more than what they have. And when you don't experience anything more than what you have, you become that box.
Exactly.
And anything somebody pour into your box, you're going to reject it because that's all you want to be and that's all you know. Okay, so I didn't get your funny or what, tell me.
Funny? My funny?
Or interesting from all the travels.
No, yeah, so traveling the world has completely changed my worldview perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
And it happened very quickly. I mean,
Yeah.
Morocco, Italy, all these places, and seeing how people live, seeing all the cultures. And I'm born in Louisiana. My family is Cajun. My grandmother spoke French Creole.
My grandmother spoke French too.
So, I grew up in a box. Louisiana, Texas.
Right.
That was where my whole
Right.
life. And now doing this in the last 4 years has completely changed my
Right.
worldview perspective in
Right.
so many ways.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
It's just the thing that's eye-opening about it, right, is how can they get it right? It might not be perfect,
Right,
but how can they get it right and we get it so wrong?
right.
Like what happened to us from the 80s until now, where we're number one or number three in math and reading, and
Right.
the intellect in our community for some reason from the 70s and 60s and 70s was really, really high, and all of a sudden it went down,
Really down,
down.
right.
Like, it's amazing. We had TV shows where we had people of different races talking to Walter Cronkite,
Right.
talking to these people, talking about eloquently about what's going on
Right.
and why we're doing things. We go to Europe, and it's not perfect. Like Italy has
Right,
its quirks, right? But they figured it out. Hey, education for everyone,
Right.
because an educated society means a more peaceful society. We can
Right.
understand each other.
But a good education.
Right,
Right.
a good education, not just that's right, a good education.
A good
Education. Because
And then-
you were homeschool, right?
Yes.
Okay, my son was homeschooled. So
Yeah.
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 We
Good
took
education.
all our kids out of school.
Yeah, but it matters.
Exactly.
It matters.
It matters.
It matters.
And then the second thing was like healthcare. Okay, simple things about healthcare. And let's talk about this is the elephant in the room, right? The thing about healthcare with them, major surgeries and major things like that, yes, you have to get on the list and take a
Right.
ticket and schedule it.
Right.
But the goal of all their healthcare and their professionals, if you talk to a professional, is I want to cure you.
So
Right.
you're not
So you don't have to
drain
come
on the
back.
system.
So you don't drain our system.
Right.
Like if something's wrong with Lucky, let's fix Lucky.
Right.
And here's a healthcare plan.
Not
Or
put a Band-Aid.
let's not put a Band-Aid and continue to be part of this loop
Right.
that continuously feeds it. So that's why it works.
Right.
So here, for us, what's frustrating is like they want you to come back. Hey, as soon as you're done
Want
with the
you
appointment,
sick.
yeah, as soon as you're done with the appointment, hey, let's reschedule you 6 weeks out to do this follow up, right?
Right.
I thought you cured me, doctor. Like what?
Yes.
Well,
So-
and, you know, too, I mean, like people in Italy, if you read about the blue zones, they live to be over 100 years old, and they're active, and they're moving, and they're eating good food.
And they don't look their age,
They're
probably.
eating
No.
clean food, and they're
Right.
drinking clean water,
Right.
and they're not really even having to go to the doctor like we do here.
So question. So basically, when you were out, I'm pretty sure because when I go out to an international, go places, I eat more food, but I don't gain weight. I actually maybe lose some weight,
Yes.
but I'm eating more.
Uh-huh.
Right. And you don't feel bloated ever.
Right.
I was drinking beer every day. Okay? I was eating food every day. She was
Right.
cooking every day. Olive oil was fantastic.
Oh, I can
And then, but
imagine.
this is all over here. Went to
Right.
Indian food places, and we went out with what you consider fast food.
Right.
You don't feel what we feel here.
You don't feel heavy or want to be lethargic and go to sleep. And
Right.
stuff
You
like
don't
that,
you don't
yeah.
feel like you're gonna die the next day after
Yeah.
eating McDonald's.
Right.
I know,
And
right?
the kids ate McDonald's for the first time in Europe and Italy.
Right.
At Rome. I think my daughter had 3 quarter pounders with cheese in like in the matter of 3 days because she was like
Right.
over the moon. But she couldn't do that here because we have glyphosates, the forever chemicals.
I was just gonna say that I know it's a franchise, but is it different?
Oh yeah,
They're
when we
regular.
They're
go,
banned in certain
when we
countries.
go to
Different.
Europe, one of the things that my daughter Lion wants to do is go to a McDonald's because we won't allow her to go to one here in America because
Right.
they use less chemicals over
Right.
there. Nutella, like these little things that are Skittles or Starburst that they have over there don't have all the chemicals, the red dyes, all this stuff.
That's
So when we
wild.
go over there, she's like, "Mom, can I get this? Can we go to McDonald's?"
So is it regulated or something?
Yes,
Yes.
heavily
Oh,
regulated.
okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Heavily regulated.
Some
They want
candies
clean-
aren't even in the.
Okay.
They're not
Other
even
countries.
allowed. They're not even allowed. We had a friend of ours went over to Europe, just playing on an underrated tour, and they brought all these candies. They're like, "We're going to bring these candies to our friends who can't get these,"
Right.
and we had to send them.
They
a
like
wonder
message.
why-
American brand.
Right.
They wonder why they're not there. It's
Oh.
because of the ingredients.
So
in
that's
it.
what I had
And
to
it's
send.
regulated. That's
Right.
why.
I had to send them. I had to send them a message. I'm like, "Hey, you can't bring those because it's against the law
Yeah.
Oh.
for them to eat a red dye number 4 or blue 5 or blue 4. In Europe, they don't
So
have
it's
them.
really against the law.
Yes,
For
it's
real,
against their law. It's against their laws.
Yeah, they
Wow.
have banned thousands and thousands of chemicals in their foods that we allow here.
So that's why
So is the
States.
population high because not many people die, or
No, they live longer, right?
They
but the
live
problem,
longer.
the problem is in Europe,
Better
like
quality
Europe is
of life.
dying, and so is Italy and all that. Why? Because
Right.
all the young kids are going to where the action is and the money is and all that.
okay?
But the problem is everything is cyclical, right? So in the next 20 years, you're going to start seeing all these kids who left come back because they're going to realize that it wasn't worth, getting sick or being in the city with the smog. and
Right.
understanding that, hey, my hometown with the clean air and the water was better than anything else.
Right.
So like,
And
you know,
water is important right now. Y'all.
water is so
Oh.
important.
And it's
No, we-
our water is
We have
so
a
bad
we
here.
have we
It's
just
important.
launched with my partner here. We just launched a company on water for data centers and using a particular field in oil and gas, taking oil and gas water and primarily servicing data centers to not compete against
Right.
families and farms and things like that.
We also
Right.
have the patent, so you can't
Right.
take it.
That's right. We also have a
Can't take none.
right.
Don't y'all be stealing stuff off my show.
We
Yeah.
have a pad for it. But like,
I'm telling you, you don't want to mess with these people.
But funny thing is, and he's here, but he's not on camera. He
Should've been, but-
he was in Europe with us, and somebody had a special bag of candy that he was shopping everywhere, buying duty-free candy that's healthy
Right.
candy.
Right.
But this was his opportunity to be like, hey, I can't get this in the States. I can't get this, right? And he knew it was healthy.
Right.
So then he brought his stash back home, and now this is his stash of candy,
Right.
right? And that's a tip for everybody watching real estate.
Right.
Let her hook you up with a spot in Europe. Okay. Italy is fantastic.
Yeah.
Look, I can't stress how Italy right now is a spot for if Americans want to go somewhere. Italy is where it's at. They should
Really?
go. Look, we looked at a place it's a 4-bedroom home with a half a hectare of property of olive trees, beautiful, for $200,000.
Wow.
Yeah, 200,000
All right,
euros.
I'm
So
out
about-
of here. No.
So 200,000, it's 250,000 American,
Right,
200
right.
euro. But their thing is you pay $10,000 down. The property is yours.
Okay.
And then you get your code of physicality, which is their social security number. You get your 2-year residency, and you have your house. And
What
you
about taxes? How does that look?
So the taxes are all included.
Oh.
Everything's all
You pay
included.
taxes one time.
You pay taxes one time, that's
and
it.
you're done.
And there's no insurance because the places that they have the houses, there's no forest fire. Everything's so heavily regulated on how they take care of their environment
Right.
that you don't need house insurance. So like once you get a
Right.
$250,000 mortgage, it is the mortgage payment. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're paying $500 to $800 on that mortgage payment, and that's your house. You have a house in Italy. So what
And
happens
see
is
why I like the show? You bring in information that, people don't get a chance to, experience or hear or, and that's pretty good.
it's great. So even if you had it as an investment
Spain's
property,
the same way,
you can live in it 6 months out of the year, rent it as an Airbnb,
Right.
and then we can get our goal is let's have a house in Sicily.
Right.
We can Airbnb it, and then we can. Our partner here, we can exchange houses. You want to go to Abruzzo in
Right.
the mountains and drink wine? Go stay in the house. We're
Right.
going to go to Sicily. He's going to play golf in Sicily.
Right.
And then create your kind of community where you
Right.
can do those things
Right.
and pool your money together,
Right.
where it's all under one net.
Right. Right.
But you're paying one mortgage. I mean, look, listen. If all three of us got together and put together $2,500 a month,
Right.
that's 4 houses in Italy
Right.
strategically.
Right. And then you can just
swap
yeah.
houses during the weather. I want to go to
Right.
spend time at Saint Tropez or Sicily, where the beaches are beautiful.
Right.
You're
Right.
down there.
No, I mean that's the ultimate. Like I tell people, earlier this week we had I was talking about RV living, and we had a guy named Jerry that came up to the show, and so we touch all types of living. Like that's an exclusive kind of living that if somebody wants to live that way, which is amazing.
We lived it, yeah.
Amazing, because you won me with the taxes. Because right now, taxes are just,
Raise the taxes.
yeah, just raise the taxes, and you question it, you fight the taxes, and you just got a board of like 3 people, and they're like making a decision, and you're asking like, what why are the taxes going up? Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Yeah,
but I think people need to really look at the word community and actually start doing it. Like,
right,
if you have friends that are family friends, they're lifelong friends, they're not blood, but they're friends that you can
Right.
count on. You start pulling 2 or 3 families together, and now you buy a property.
right,
You put 2 or 3 houses on it. You put another house for your son, for
Right.
your granddaughter, and now you have a community of houses
right,
where you're living in a community, but you pay one,
right,
and then you split it, and you get the insurance, and you split the taxes on one.
right,
So, and then what you do is you fight the appraisal. I can't say this enough. The tax laws are written in a way that's really simple. What I buy this property for and the improvements I make on it is what I'm taxed on.
right,
The trick is you have to fight the appraisal, because the appraisal and the county will come in and say, this is worth $1 million.
right,
But I bought it at $300,000, I put $200,000, it's only worth $500,000.
right.
So you have to fight them in the
Right.
tax court and say, listen, this is what the law says. You have to abide by the law. And
Right.
they'll back off and they'll say, okay, you only pay taxes on the $500,000 instead
Right.
of the $1 million. Now, when you're ready to parlay and sell it, the appraisal comes, then the taxes come and all that.
Right.
But people don't really understand the laws
Right.
that are there to protect you as well as tax you on.
Right.
So I think that's really key, is you buy something, you only pay for the taxes that you approve on. You buy
Right.
the land, tax the land. You buy the improvements, you keep the receipts. Hey, $200,000 in improvements,
Right.
that's what I'm taxed on.
And you know all of this because you've been doing this for a long time.
For a long, long
For a
time.
long time.
I mean, my background, my intro, sorry, 30,
Yeah.
25 years in oil and
Finally.
gas. 25 years in oil and gas, worked in government regulation after BB Macondo, helped rewrite the Code of Federal Rule. I
Right.
was the author of the Classifications for Drilling Systems Guide for MODU and all offshore vessels in the United States. And I sit on committees, API, American Petroleum Institute Committee, SP 53, which is now now it's a standard. I was the vice chairman of API 64 and 16C. So my life in the arena space
whole realm.
is like, I understand what
Right.
that law means because it's written as a standard. Now the application of it.
Right.
The problem is what the government and most tax counties appraisals hope for is that you don't know.
And most people don't.
And most people don't. Right. So, and then I've used that also to our advantage of helping friends and family, and then I take that structure of my background
Right.
and apply it to his golf career and our branding. So like for him, we have a brand, he has a logo. We have an apparel company that's sitting on ice right now until we really build it, called My Luck. The funny thing about
that.
yeah, the company of it that runs My Luck is the name of it is Fuku, Fuku.
Okay.
It means lucky in Japanese.
Okay.
All right, established in 2007. But in America, when you write it out, you know, like how Fubu,
Right.
it says people think you're saying "fu"
Right.
instead of "fuku" because people are like, "What
Right.
does that mean?" So then people are taking
I love
why we're
it.
like,
I love it.
What are you
What is
doing?"
this? What's going on?
No.
So we have to be real careful with the pieces
Right.
that we design. So the
Because
tag,
it's branding. I
Right.
mean, it's your brand.
right? So the My Luck is the apparel line, but Fuku 2007 is the apparel company.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You gonna have what? Shirts, hats, everything?
Shirts, hats, skinny dresses, fit dresses, something a little bit for girls and for boys,
Yeah.
and then a couple of high-end pieces to go out at night. Like you would see like a lot of drapey,
Right.
nice silky kind of pieces that you see a basketball player wear,
Right.
or or somebody like Cruz would wear.
Right.
You know, won't say any last names.
Right.
So, the real elegant pieces. Only a couple. I could take a piece and silk and be like, okay, Myeshi, we're gonna wrap you in silk.
Right.
We're gonna be
Right.
like, but
Make
it's
you
gonna-
look all fancy.
all
and-
fancy,
Right.
but at the very end of it, in a real dainty way, it says My Luck.
Oh, that's
So it's all about you, but it's the apparel,
Right.
but it's really small. Because I think, you know, the clothing in the apparel sense, my wife can back me up on this, the clothing should be about the individual,
Right.
not so much about the brand.
Right.
And we're so used to the 90s where like Reebok all the way across our
Right.
chests, or Gucci.
Right.
Well, let's create pieces that he likes to wear. But it's not necessarily,
But I'm big on that.
yeah, it just is about
Yeah.
you. It's not really about
Right.
the apparel.
Because you are a walking brand.
Exactly.
You know, and you should represent yourself as a walking brand.
Right,
And that's how it should be.
right. On the back of it, it'll have his logo.
Okay.
And it's a really great logo, I think. Right?
Oh, that's
I like
cool.
it.
When
So-
do you think y'all gonna come out with the first? And will it be international? Will it be first? Will it be over there first before America? Like,
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's up to him on how he wants to do it. He wants to do. Obviously, he'll do America, but some of the pieces like our appeal in Europe is pretty big. South Africa,
Right.
he appeals to a lot of the people in South Africa. So we could start there.
right?
Europe,
You go where your fans are. You go where your fans
Listen,
are.
he's saying I'm very appealing. Okay, so that's just, I'm appealing everywhere.
right? But I can.
I love it.
But in Europe and
Right.
the Middle East and things like that, you can see
And fashion,
Guys,
Europe, you know, stuff like
in
that. so-
India, like
Europe.
Right.
they
Yeah.
really gravitate towards him,
Yeah.
right? So like you're right. You go where the fans are.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy. Now here, you know, once we get over the haters and the hate factor and all
Yeah.
that, then you'll start to see people buying in. A lot of the
Yeah.
younger kids buying in. But we have to be very strategic and smart on how we do it.
Right.
Get over haters.
Yes.
Right. Well, you know,
Ain't that much to worry about. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I get it because, you know, here sometimes can be a lot of hard traction sometimes with different things. It can be, you know.
Right.
But it's not like I got the whole world like pointing a gun at my head. It's
No,
like, it's
no.
not
No,
like
but
that.
you know,
it's just.
The U.S.
It's different.
The U.S. is very
It's
the
not
U-
even like it's the entire U.S. It's like,
It is the
come
entire
on.
U.S.
No,
because in the fashion sense of golf, okay, I'm
Right.
going to give you the brackets,
Right.
okay. You have Eastside Golf. Olajuwon and his crew have done a fantastic job. Has it caught on? They've got the celebrities, they've got the Brooks Koepkas, they got everybody wearing it, right? They send out the free pieces, but is it a consistent basis
Right.
of where people are wearing it? No,
Right.
right? You have Melbourne, they're doing a great job. But what they spend their money in is cultural awareness and recognition. So they'll spend the money on the Victor Cruz coming in wearing the Melbourne and the person. So they'll culturally look the part,
Right.
and they'll spend 30%, 40% of their budget getting that appeal out there to where it's adopted and swallowed.
Right.
So now it's becoming a minor apparel to a mid to a major, right? The major apparel companies like Nike and Adidas and all that. They had the Michael Jordans. They had
Right.
they had our generation
Right.
to stamp that approval,
Right.
where his generation doesn't have it yet.
Right.
So what we got, especially in the golf space, is a bunch of kids who are plastic, very generic.
Right.
They say the same template. They say the same things. The OG Willikers kind of, you know what I mean? That's what it is.
Right.
Oh, gee, Willikers.
That's I'm
That's
sorry.
hilarious.
That's my
No, I
generation.
know what you're saying,
Right,
but
to
do
some
you
of the people out
think?
there, you would understand what I'm saying.
Do you think social media has something? Do you think? Because, like you said, our era, right, is a completely different. We stamped like there were lines wrapped around for Michael Jordan stuff. So
Or the
what-
starter jacket. Remember the
yeah.
starter
Oh, the 8-ball jacket.
Yes.
It's just.
Oh,
I still
incredible.
have mine.
Right. It's just,
But still, do you think what do you think? What changed? Like, what happened?
well, social media changed,
Mm.
right? And the thing is I don't think we were ready for it, and I still don't think that our society was ready for the internet the way the internet got brought
Right.
out, because it really killed our economy and it killed that vibe of things.
Right. Originality.
A real
too.
originality, exactly.
Yeah.
But now we live in a world where you are a walking brand.
Yes.
You can make 2 clicks of a button and you're talking
Yes.
with Shin Shin, the #1 manufacturer.
Yes.
And if you have the money to pay for 5,000 pieces, guess what? You have the best apparel. Travis Matthews, all those guys, where they get it from, it's the same people. So you can 2 clicks of the button, you get the same stuff with your own brand. Now I have to move it.
Right.
Right? So then how popular are you, and what have you done to move it? Right? So the thing about Michael Jordan, it was easy. They had a multi-million-dollar Nike campaign to move Michael, and plus he won championships. Put the two together, it sells. Right? You have Tiger Woods, for example. Crazy anomaly. He has all the accolades. He's the GOAT. But his apparel doesn't move at all. One, it's
That's
priced.
wild because I didn't even know he had apparel.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, I'm not trying to be. I didn't know. I didn't know he had, because I don't see ads. I don't really see commercials.
Right. So
or-
where Nike had him, right? He was a Nike guy,
Okay.
and now he has his apparel and his things. They're banking on the Michael Jordan appeal. They're banking on the
Right.
Tiger appeal.
Right.
And it's already skipped. It's gone.
Right.
So now it's
It's a window.
It's a window, right?
Right.
So they don't have it. So now he's saying, "Well, I'm Tiger, and they should buy because this is my brand."
Right.
Well, your brand, that sweatshirt is $250. That shirt is $150. Those shoes are $500.
And then you got to get the right kid or the right person to put it on, to
Right.
rock it out,
Right.
to continuously wear it,
Right.
to make it, go.
Right. And-
Make it go.
What I wish I knew at the start. Trusting BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group with our commercial landscaping was the best decision ever. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group has been transforming commercial spaces into green paradises. Our clients can't stop raving about us. Just listen to what they have to say.
First client review. Our property has never looked this good. 5 stars all the way.
Second client review. Professional, reliable, and simply the best in the business. 5-star service.
From lush green lawns to vibrant floral displays, we've got it all covered. Our dedicated team ensures your property not only looks great but stands out.
Third client review. Their attention to detail is incredible. Our landscaping has never been in better hands. 5 stars.
Whether you're a business or an individual, BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group brings expertise, reliability, and a touch of magic to every project. Ready to transform your property? Join the 5-Star Club! Because at BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, we believe every property deserves to shine. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, where properties thrive.
And think about it. Back then, for us, it was a status, but it was a volume thing.
Right.
The starter jacket was only $100, but you finally got it. Everybody had it.
Right.
Right.
And
With
you was proud of it.
And you were proud of it, right? And you're proud of, like, remember the new Fly Case Swiss when they came out, and you would clean them, British Knights and all this
Right.
shit,
Right.
You would take care of it, right? His pieces are like status pieces. You get one piece, it says your status. But do you, like you said, do you rock continuously?
It has to be a. So when y'all are traveling, staying in all these real estate, hotels, wherever you stand, do you see people really? Because we talk about brand, right? So do you see people really into it like we were in the other countries?
Well, that's different.
Okay.
Because what's funny about the market in other countries is everyone has an individual style, and how one particular piece fits your style is what they rock. If it doesn't rock it, then they have their own thing. Like we've seen people wear most random things. They're quite stylish. Now, when you get to Rome, it's all fashion. Right? So, it's all fashion. So you might see the lady down the street who's, she might sell fresh bread, but she's put together nice.
Oh, wow.
Selling fresh bread, right?
Not just throwing on anything to sell fresh bread.
No.
Everybody
No.
puts
So like
themselves together.
Everyone does. I mean, you just go into the store.
Even at the store.
You know,
you go.
Well, that's my kind of place.
You go places sometimes here, and people are wearing their slippers and their pajamas
Bonnets.
and their bonnets.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, so, what are we doing? Like, I grew up, and my mom, she got ready.
Right.
If we were not to go out, hey, I got to run errands, she got ready.
But that's how we were raised, though, because how I was raised was you don't leave this house looking any kind of way because you're a representation.
Yeah.
And goes back to brand. So they were saying things, but might not be saying you're a brand walking, but they were saying and instilling things in us to say, when you leave this house, you are a representation of me.
Right. And I'm very big on that.
Right.
Because I get on everybody about how they're dressed. Not my wife, but my son and my daughters. Like, yo.
You will not leave this house with your bonnet on.
No, absolutely not.
No, or when he's taking care of his hair.
Not gonna allow it.
Like, there's do's and don'ts.
Right.
Like, what you do behind closed doors to take care of your hair and all that stuff, that's your space.
Right.
But you never leave the house with it.
Right.
Because you
never know who you might run into.
Right.
You never know what opportunity you might get. You never know what space you might be in. Mm-hmm. So always be ready and don't have to prepare to be ready,
Right. So you get 2 minutes, right? The elevator pitch window, which is 2 minutes. But their generation, what they've done is they've shrunken the elevator pitch of 2 minutes of time to 30 seconds. That's what you got with him now. It's 30 seconds. So how you look is everything at that moment. Because they're going to remember what you look like the last thing they leave. So you always try to put yourself together well.
Right.
And and that's why his insight is very important. You can't it's just not mom and dad dominating everything, y'all. His insight and y'all's insight's really important. Right. So if you want to wear one of his pieces to go to HEB and it's a bum wear, he's going to make your bum wear stylish.
Right.
Like you're going to come in sweats, but it'll look nice, and it's going to come tailored and fit to you and cut to you. So you could go to HEB wearing flip flops and a My Look outfit.
Right.
That's important. Right. So then you have a piece for them. So we idea of our first launch is a little piece of something for everybody.
Okay.
Like his golf line and what he wears for golf.
Right.
It's exclusive. You're probably not going to get it. So if you see it and you like it, it's his. It's made for him.
Right.
But we will venture out in the golf space. Right. But we're going to do small little pieces for everyone to wear.
Right.
So that we hope, that, God willing, that in Europe we do see somebody rock his sweatshirt. We do see somebody rock his pants with their blouse or something. Right.
And that's a good feeling. That's almost like having your song play on the radio and you're like, oh my God, that's me. Like they're enjoying me.
Yeah, that's another thing we should talk about is like his hobby. So Christmas, I got him a drum machine and a studio setup, and because he loves music. So I said, you know what? Listen, when you have a bad round or you have a good round or whatever, instead of being on a video game or instead of doing this,
I don't even play video games anymore.
He doesn't play, but he makes music. He makes beats. He makes a lot of stuff. Maybe we can get him to send you one, so you can play on your show. Maybe.
It's not. I use FL Studio. I bought that.
Yeah.
December.
So I'm turning a little bit, camera people, but I have my producer so you send something. And then I just send a little snippet, and we'll put it on this particular show. Then y'all can hear his beat. That's really cool. Yeah, that's cool. So is it like a stress reliever too? Do you just jump in there and do it for stress relief?
It's just however I'm feeling. If I'm feeling like I need to relieve stress, or if I just want to if I get inspired to do something, I just go. I love doing it. I love music, like he said. It's so influential and. Also, I want to be able to create the stuff I'm imagining in my head as well, and it gives me a great opportunity to do that. So
it's a blessing to have two parents that support you wholeheartedly. Like my parents are like that. That's how I had my hands in so many things. Like my parents were just like, you can do whatever you want to do, don't limit yourself, and don't let nobody limit you.
Right.
You know, or don't hook up with nobody that can limit you.
Right.
Like seriously, and
Exactly.
that's a blessing to have a mom and a dad so fine tuning your life like that, because it does give you structure and character and make you, like I always tell my parents, like I wouldn't even be who I am today if it wasn't for like y'all's backing and things, because you know people ask me, well, how you get your hands on all this stuff, and most people don't even change your career. You're like constantly, you know, flowing. I'm like, yeah, I flow like water. So check out the water brand now.
That's right.
You know, but but it comes with the core togetherness of family, the dynamics, you know, the grace that your family gives you, you know, when you do mess up sometimes, you know, because everybody's human, you know, and it's the love, it's just the consideration of a community and the well-working, you know, I could tell the work that's put into it. And my grandmother and my mother and father used to say, and I'm going to tell y'all that's watching, and once again, thank y'all for watching. We have around 375K views, so thank you. But I know, right? But they used to say this. They said this to me, and they said this. You know, when you get ready to have your child, it's one thing that I want to tell you, and I'm not going to tell you anything else, because parenting don't come with a book, right?
Right.
At all. You don't know what you're going to do, what's going to happen. But they told me this. They said, you can either put in the time now with your child, or you can put in the time later. And later means you at the jail crying, trying to get attorneys, trying to get different people to help you. So you can either be absent, put in the time now, and invest in your child, or you're going to be investing later when they're an adult.
Right.
Either or. But you're going to spend some time investing. It depends. It's either going to be a big financial investment, or it's going to be, you could structure your investment by spending time, doing what you need to do, you know, because it takes time. Like all this traveling y'all doing, that's a lot.
Right.
Job switching up, finding other careers to be able to travel. You know, because you know you're not eating for free, you're not breathing for free. You know, you have, no matter where you're living, you got some type of expenses going. So it's dynamic. I do want to say hats off to y'all, seriously, because it's dynamic, and he's not the only child. Like
We have Evie, who's 3.
Yeah.
She was our big surprise at 45. We have
Love
Lion,
surprise.
who's 10, and then we have Rocco, who's 16, and you know he's high on the spectrum. He'll always have to have some sort of care.
Right.
So we have our hands
full.
And that's a blessing. like you know, look what you're saying.
Absolutely.
High on the spectrum, and then y'all are able to still pour into each and every child.
Right.
You know.
And then people think it's
try.
easy. It's not easy. So when you see Fred in a bad mood, I got other things going on. And that's it. That's the thing. Like we or I have gotten so much like bad juju from protecting my son from bad characters. And the problem is like in this space, and as you grow, remember Dick Gregory, right? The comedian and who ran for president. Dick Gregory said something really, really profound. He said, once you have the goggles on and you see people for who they are, you can never take them off. And something in my experience, in my life experience, is good and bad and everything I learned, I see things for who they are. I see people who they are and what their end goal is. And what I try to do is say, okay, does my son fit into your box or fit or it doesn't fit? And what happens is a lot of them say, okay, I'm going to make money off of him, or I'm going to raise money off of him, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. Oh, you know, Fred's too difficult, can't deal with him. No, you're not going to exploit my child.
Right.
You know, and if you are going to exploit my child, here's the deal. It comes with a 30% fee that's going to help his golf career.
Right.
It's got to be reciprocal.
Right.
But we're not going to do this idea of you're just going to parlay him
Right.
just because you want to. Right.
And there's so many people that do that too, if you think about it. You know, they come into the game like that. They're like looking for a place to bite. You know?
Well,
seriously.
I've had it. Look, so, you know, give you guys more background on him. We just got back from the U.S. Open final He qualified for the U.S. Open to the Super Regional. He was one of the very few in the
Super
country.
regional.
Yeah, it's a Super Regional, or the longest day.
Right.
We just got back from New York, Century, New York. We didn't qualify, but we made it there. For those of you who want to say something negative, we were there.
Y'all better not be on my thing. Y'all know I'll be
Right.
coming after people.
But most importantly, we're trying to achieve things to fit his goal,
Right.
and sometimes it rubs people the wrong way of how we're pushing our son. Like, I'll give you an example. Steph Curry, he won his championship, the Underrated Tour, 2023 champion, phenomenal.
Right.
We get great press. Golf Channel comes and does, or Golf Digest comes and does a piece.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, love the journey, Lucky Cruz. It's about us. You'll see it. But they framed it in a way where it said, "Hey, Steph Curry is backing this junior golfer."
Right.
So you guys all know Steph just signed a multi-billion-dollar deal
With lining.
with Lining, right? How much money and how much sponsorship have we gotten from Steph Curry? Zero. The donut is zero. Zero.
So does
Zero.
he still communicate with y'all?
No, they don't. They don't communicate with us. They don't help us. They don't do anything with us. But they used him as the notch, you know. And I don't know if Steph Curry knows this, because Steph Curry has people and people
and busy
other-
lifestyles.
Right.
Busy lifestyles, doing all kinds of
Right,
stuff.
because when he turned pro, Steph Curry had no idea. I had to tell him, right? But you know, we learned that the hard way. Because here we thought, hey, we have an opportunity. He's going to help.
Right.
Not going to help.
And
You know.
golf is expensive.
Whew.
I mean, it's one of the most expensive sports that you could play.
It-
You know?
It is. And
It
I
costs-
told y'all my son started
it's
golf.
hundreds of thousands of dollars
Right.
at his level
Right.
a year,
Right.
just to get in to pay for the tournaments, for the travel, for the
Right.
caddies, for the coaching, for the being members at courses, because some of them are so private. Only the good
Right.
ones are private. It's so expensive.
Right.
So you know,
And this takes a
we're
village.
We're just doing this.
You know,
does.
we have,
Like,
like, you're
it's
not
the
seeing
best
on
we
camera,
can.
but he's one of his number one sponsors, and his uncle is right here.
Like sitting
with
in the
us,
watching
So, like-
watching the whole thing go
Like,
down.
people don't realize what rolling up to a tournament with $200 in your pocket trying to make
Right.
the cut feels like.
Right.
Or we're rolling to an event when you barely have enough and relying on
Right.
people. Like, this isn't easy. So when I bring up the OG Wilker guys and all
Right.
those guys, they're plastic because they come from a family that has all the money in the world.
Right.
They don't need to worry about it. They live at a good country club. They live at a place where, hey, my dad's a venture capitalist fundraiser and he knows the guy from so-and-so at Travis
Picking up a
Matthew.
phone
And
call,
it's
yeah.
just a phone call, and they all know each other, they eat lunch together and all that.
Right.
That's what we're up against.
Right.
Because he's the anomaly,
Right.
right?
I always
And it-
call him the Rocky Balboa of golf right now.
Right.
Wow. But it's
He
gonna
is-
pay off.
It is going to pay off.
It's going
Right.
to.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
It will.
But it's just a
It's just
thing-
going through the rough.
It's just
Yeah.
going. Oh yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
40 days, 20 nights.
Yep. But
Yeah.
it's like we are going through the rough.
Yeah.
But like for people who see this, you need to understand like it is not easy, and there's not a path for you. You have to
Right.
make your own path.
Right.
And as many and God bless all the people who want to help you, but you have to understand that some of these people that are trying to help you are also trying to exploit you.
Right.
So you have to protect yourself from that. At the same time, build upon the path that you make for yourself.
Right.
You know, and this
And
is
keep a level head while doing it, because sometimes.
And this can go in all aspects of life. not
Right.
just
your
golf.
real estate
'Cause-
game. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm
business,
saying,
everything.
because all of it, like, to be honest, and keep a level head, because I am a Scorpio. People know. I've miled down over my years. My producers back there laughing because of some stories I've told. But you know, even when people try to exploit you, you have to keep a level head, because you have to remember your brand.
Right.
You know, but you can still get a person in check, but in a certain kind of way,
Right.
with protecting your brand.
Right. Well, so for me now, I trust people to be who they are. I listened to Cat Williams talk on a podcast, and it was great. But he was like, why do I need to trust them as in a relationship?
Right.
I need to respect them, but I can trust them to be who they are. So trust a snake to be a snake. Trust the guy who speaks real loud, blah, 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 to be that person. If we trust people to be who they are in their role, we would never be upset or never be disappointed.
Right.
It's our fault if we decide to give them more of ourselves
Right.
when we already know who they are.
Right.
So now...
Or multiple chances.
That's right. So now we're in the golf space. I know who the bad players are.
Right.
I know who I want to align myself with, and I know who I don't want to align him with.
Right.
Right? Because at the end of the day, it's about about his brand and his interests.
Right.
But
Well, I guess too, with that said, we can shake that out. I mean, Hollywood shook the curtains a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna get too deep in it, but Hollywood shook the curtains a little bit, and now you know who were the players and everything with that.
right. But look at that. Look at the machines that we're built, that are built in this. Like the amount of grit and the amount of focus and determination and all these things that you have to have in order to make it in any of these columns, whether it's a real estate game,
Right.
golf game, football, baseball, like there's a large amount of sacrifice that you have to do in order to be successful in these channels, because these systems are built by these people that never had to worry a day in their life.
Right.
So they said, okay, well, let's make this a little bit more difficult.
Right.
Let's make that lunch a little bit more
Right.
difficult. Or guess what? I'm exclusive now. You can't get to me. You can email me 100 times,
Right.
but I don't have to pick up that phone.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
you have to become that much better
Right.
and that loud, and so loud to the point where they say, well, if we don't get him, someone else is going to get him, and we're
Right.
going to make a multi-million-dollar mistake.
Right.
So it's just, it's very,
And it's timing.
and it's timing. Oh, that's God's work.
Yeah, that's
God's
what I'm
work's
saying.
in it, yes.
And it's timing. So it's all of that, and then it's timing.
Right. And it's up to the individual at the end of the day. It's up to the
Right.
individual. You got to play well at the right time.
Right.
You got to sell well at the right time. You got to have your face on and ready to go
Right.
at the right time. You can't bring your luggage to the office.
Nope.
You know, whether it's the golf course or the real estate, you're about to meet people. Everything could be falling behind you.
You the second person that's been on the show that said that.
Yep. And then when you go meet people to sell the house or whatever,
Right.
you got to look like nothing in the world.
Nothing is going on.
Like you just parked your Bentley and a sprinkler, and you got a $500,000
Right.
problem. But guess what? We're going
Right.
to sell this house, and you deserve it,
Right.
right? And that's how he's got to be in the golf course.
Right. Right.
So, you know,
Mentally always ready.
always ready,
Mentally always ready.
and that's how
important.
and that's how our family operates. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
like we have.
Oh, I see. That's why I said what I said, because I've seen how y'all move together. You know what I'm saying? I've seen how you just operate together. That's hands down amazing.
Right.
You know, it is. I mean, that's like pat on your back, because most of the time it's hard for families to move like that. You know, when you're not moving like that, it's like when you're not moving like that, it creates confusion, disruption, and you can't think.
Right.
When you can't think, you can't make money. When you can't, you know, I mean, that comes with a lot of stuff. Can't get sleep, can't think, can't get money, you can't get yourself out of a situation because you can't focus.
Right.
You know, and so sometimes like I said, pats on y'all back, because I've been seeing it. You know, I've been seeing it over time. So, question: what is the favorite? I mean, just with all the travel, what's like the favorite hotel that it's like, oh man, this hotel is though. I know. Well, just give a couple. Give a couple.
Morocco's up there.
Honestly,
Morocco's up there.
We haven't stayed in as many hotels recently because we've been staying. We
Okay.
were there for like 2 weeks or a week, so
Cairo's
we'll get
nice,
like an
Morocco's
Airbnb.
nice.
Well, shout out first to bookings.com for coming through. You owe us a lot. We utilize bookings.com a lot.
Okay,
And we've been blessed enough to stay at houses.
that's cool.
In Sicily, we rented a villa on top of, in Sicily, which was phenomenal.
That
Had a
sounds
hot tub,
phenomenal.
had a pool. It was great.
We like to cook. He's really a health freak, and you save money when you cook too, especially when you're going over there because the groceries are so much cheaper.
And it's protection
than
too.
they
I'm gonna
are
tell you,
here.
it's
So we
protection
cook a lot.
too.
So we always try to find something that's homey
Right.
and that we can live in for a
Right.
week or two.
But it's
we always have the
protection, too.
kids. Yeah.
Because you don't want him just randomly eating and if saves, he got a game coming and somebody's, you just, You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
protection.
you go to the wrong street food spot, you eat
Yeah.
rat instead of chicken.
Well, it's straight up protection because there's places and people I've been around and they're like, oh, get the food. And I'm like,
They get food poisoning.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good because last week you didn't like me. Right. So we have to be in this meeting together.
Right.
So I'm good.
You see, okay, so in Europe, there's not a lot of that to worry about, right? Because all the places we've eaten are really good, or mom cooks. We eat a lot of Indian food. Right. We love Indian food.
Spicy.
And then especially Italian food is really so good. It's so great. I mean, It's so clean and so good. But it's never, let's get back to the hotel. Morocco, the Hilton Alhambra Resort in Morocco. Nice. Fantastic. And they did a really great job upgrading us for nothing because of our situation with our family and the golfer. I think another great place to stay is anywhere in Amsterdam where it's in and out. It's such a city life in Amsterdam, but it's so good. So like everything is right there.
Right.
So you spend most of your time outside of the hotel.
Wow.
In Amsterdam somewhere. And I think another really, really, really great spot. El Presidente was nice in El Salvador. All right? Where we ate at the world's best Denny's. Most fabulous Denny's in the world in El Salvador. So we've been to 9 different countries.
I was just going to ask how many countries.
9 different countries, 21 tournaments. He made 5 cuts. Lucky's getting ready to go back to college, Texas State Bobcats.
Oh, I caught you just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Y'all be moving so quick.
Yeah.
I call you. You're like, oh, we on the island of.
Well, it's just we had some things to do when the bombs started happening in Morocco. We had to reorganize.
Okay.
Because we weren't ready. We had 6 tournaments left in the Middle East. We had Dubai, Qatar, Jordan, Aqaba, and then back to Dubai, and then Qatar. So they canceled the tour because of the bombs.
Right.
So then we came back, 4 plane rides home. It's crazy. 4 plane rides home. And then the worst thing about it was we were in Barcelona and they didn't tell us that our connection was in 45 minutes. So you get off one plane and in 45 minutes we made it through customs and the boarding director had to come out, wave them through, and we ran literally.
I was just going to say, did y'all run?
Yes, we ran. Everybody's sweating. Baby in hand, 10-year-old, him, 6 luggages, and a golf bag.
Oh my goodness.
So we had to get them all checked in. We finally made it home. But in the process of made it home, I was talking with my partner and talking with him, and we said, okay, we're not ready for the U.S. market because I tried. And Morocco was like, bombs are happening, they're going to cancel this. Let me call PGA of America to try to get them in PGA Q school to play in PGA America. They wouldn't let us in because we missed the date by one day. So I said, well, let's take this year, just like you said, to build on. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to school. You work on you and get some individual time away from mom and dad and be a teammate in college and go dominate college. We'll raise more money. We'll work on your brand. We'll do all the things that we want to do and give you the space while me and mom work on it, right?
Right.
And then we were real lucky with Coach Howlett and Bob's in San Marcos. We got married in San Marcos. Aww. So it was meant to happen. All the doors kind of opened up for us. Aww. But I'm really excited about that because look, my goal for him on the brand, and I'll shut up afterwards, is I want him to have a store in Japan where it says My Luck. It's playing his beats. It has a catalog section with all his music. It has a video screen with his golf swing, with all his stuff. And people walk in and out and they get everything Lucky in it. That's your store. That's my dream for you. And have a few of those around the world.
Wow.
And then that aspect.
And that's real estate.
Yes.
You know?
And then, he'll do the rest with his schedule and majors and all that. But we're going to bring his little sister in to help manage, and she wants to race go-karts.
Right.
Which I'm going to do that. And that's the other crazy part about it is we're managing him. At the same time, we're trying to raise a family.
I know, right?
Right. So I got to make sure the girls have experience with mom.
Yeah.
So then they come and they have their experience as a family. Because I never want them to be resentful of their brother. Right. So now his sister is his best friend, right? She loves him. So now she gets to say, well, I was in Morocco. Right. And I did this.
And everybody got their own lane, too. So they get a chance to experience. So as you're off to college now, they're going to be spending some more time with the... It's just so... It's a fine, like I said, working machine.
Right.
So... as we're wrapping things up, I want you to be able to put a plug out there for how they can donate, how, viewers, because this goes everywhere. You're on YouTube, it's everywhere. So put a plug out there on where to donate, how to get in contact if people want to be a sponsor. Sponsorship is huge because we want to see you win. Like, I want to see you win. I want to see what your father said, his goals and dreams and aspirations. I want to see that. But so give us that. Give us, how can we, give, donate, whatever. What is the
So the avenue to donate for us is luckyswing.org. It's a non-for-profit. And yes, some of the proceeds go to build on what Lucky's doing, but it also goes to help other kids that people don't realize. We just raised with our partner a considerable amount of money for Texas Children's Hospital. So some of the donations do go and they get kicked out. I mean, last year what we had was a $250 or $200 for every birdie he made during the season went to Texas Children's Hospital. I think we raised a little bit over $4,000. And then on top of that, the big check with the Anthony Siraj Foundation and luckyswing.org was $16,800 to the Texas Children's Foundation, which has helped out a lot. You can go to luckyswing.org to donate, or you can contact us via email and figure out how to be a sponsor. We are actually signed with RG3 Sports. If you guys know the Heisman Trophy winner,
That just happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, we just
Oh,
signed with them.
congratulations.
You can reach out to them for endorsement deals or sponsorships as far as clothing brands or shoes or gloves or anything like that sorts. And you can contact us directly if you want to be a sponsor, you want to be on the bag. Certain people out there with a G, if you want to be on the bag, come get on the bag. We'd love to have you. But that's how you should donate. And
Actually, speaking of that.
yes.
Oh, was the producer say speaking of Mike? No.
Oh, speaking
no,
of
he
I
can-
am.
he
I'm
can-
just making sure
he
they
can-
can hear you.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah,
No.
speak-
He can fix everything. The producer.
Just don't make his job harder, please.
The producer
Please,
is
like-
amazing. He fixes everything.
He's
Okay.
literally
But-
going to extract the sound from the other corner of the room and put it into the
No,
microphone.
he is amazing.
Right.
He does amazing work.
And you
And
can also follow him, his Instagram.
yes,
you
get
can
on
yeah.
his Instagram.
Get on his Instagram. It's LuckySwing7. That's his main page. He has a personal page on Facebook, which is Lucky Swing 7 or Lucky Cruz, but mainly on his Lucky Swing 7 is his Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank y'all for really taking out the time because they just came back, at 1 in the morning?
Yeah, 2 in the morning from from Westchester, New York. I know because I drove 14 hours straight.
Oh, y'all drove that one.
We took
Yeah,
the RV.
We took the RV and all the kids and
That's
the
why
dog.
you were saying, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
as soon as they're going to crash, they're going to get some food, they're going to go to sleep. No, but thank y'all. And when I say nothing but blessings, prosperity over your family, like seriously, it's going to work out. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. We're going to be laughing at this later on in life for real.
We are.
For
I know.
real. I want to say thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. This was an amazing show today, and I'm just so proud of them and what they're doing. So please follow the family and follow the family's journey. And like I always say, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and we will do the same. Bye.